Hey there, subscribers. Thunk00 here, and today I am going to bring you another video from Manzanita. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these in Cabalhacem Bay. As you can see, a fair bit has happened since the last city tours, particularly in the deltoid area over here. Also, Florence has been rebuilt. Well, actually that might have been the last tour, I don't quite remember. And there's been some new work around Hawking, particularly these two tiles. And I've also done a fair bit of development myself, particularly around this corner of Manzanita and this part of Cranston over here. And also I more than doubled the size of Banks since I last recorded. But I don't think that the time is quite yet ripe for another set of city tours, so today we'll just get straight to the action. So here we are in Manzanita, and well, not all that much has really changed since the last time I recorded here. That was back when I was building this neighborhood, I think. I've upgraded this one road over here into a 4-lane avenue, and I also developed the eastern shore over here because my neighbor Lausimera was kind of pushing me to get something going with the areas adjacent to his tiles and worrying that it might not match up so well, so I figured I would put down a little something just to placate him even though I wasn't recording. Anyway, this is probably the highest density area that I've developed in this region so far, and the western side of this bridge is going to be even higher density. It's going to be one of the two main downtowns that I'm going to build in this region. So I don't think I'll get started on the CBD quite yet in this video though. In fact, what I really want to work on before anything else is extending this railway that's going to go between Pembleton and the southern part of the region, and it's going to be a high capacity double rail line. I've been saying I'll build it for a while, so I might as well go on and get started now. Alright, so I'm probably going to want to have an FLUP of some sort over here in order to get it past the bridge. Let me check though really quick if an FLUP will even work on that tile, because sometimes puzzle pieces can be a bit weird when you put them right next to a bridge. So I think there's a good chance. Yeah, it looks like it'll work. That's great. So I will have that right there, and I might as well build the tunnel entrances on either side while I'm around here anyway. So one will go over there, and one for this side. Alright, so this looks like it would probably work best as fractional angle DTR. So I'm gonna give that a shot. And let's get a couple of the straight sections. Kind of hard to see with all the trees and the shadows and whatnot, but it's at least a change of pace to have them all there. I mean, doing greenfield development all the time, it can get a little bit monotonous. Not that I ever really get bored with this game. In fact, if I could pause time while I was recording these videos, you bet that I would record a hell of a lot more. I'm not the kind of person to get bored very quickly with just about anything. Yeah, I mean, the main limiting factor is honestly that it's kind of hard to justify to myself as somebody who makes a YouTube channel that really doesn't get too many views or too much interest. It's kind of hard to justify spending a lot of time on it, which is a damn shame, because I would love to put more time into this, but, you know, whenever I talk to people about it, they're like, weird, huh? So you've been doing this for that long? Wow. I'm probably never going to be a Corrales or a Strict Toaster or anyone like that to actually be able to make reach thousands of subscribers and all that, but, doing the videos, creating something that I love, or that I love to watch when other people create similar things at least, and also just knowing that I'm one of the best at something that I'm doing, it's a good feeling. So in a way, making these videos is its own reward in itself, but it's just hard to justify any hobby pretty much, especially when you have a lot of them to start with. Man, I just realized that might sound pretty negative how I just phrased everything there. Well, I just want to reassure you guys at the very least that I'm not planning to stop doing these videos anytime soon, because I'm, for any reason really. It's just, I'm already releasing them at with a pretty long interval between each one. I'd say that my current rate is pretty sustainable, and I definitely foresee myself continuing to create these for quite a while to come, at least barring unforeseen circumstances. The first time I picked up SimCity 4, which actually wasn't that long ago, it'll be 2 years come this October. The first time I started playing the game, I just immediately knew I would probably be playing this game for quite a while to come. And I'm glad to say that that prediction seems to have been more or less accurate. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit tricky to line up the railway into a nice looking set of bridges. In fact, I think I'm going to save that particular task for last and just start building the rail line along this shore for now, so that I know where it's going to end up. So it looks like that's about as far as I can fit that. I may need to realign this street here, and I'll definitely need to bulldoze a few people's homes in order to make room for this railway, but I really am not too concerned about that. And hey, it looks like I'm not going to need to realign the street after all. That's nice. So I'll just keep this angle straight. Looks like I will have to realign this street though. Alright, yeah, this is quite a tight fit, but it's working pretty well for now. You know what? I don't think I need another straight section. I will just put my curve in around here, and let's get a matching curve further south. Over here is going to be a tight fit, but I think it should work, especially if I level things out a little bit before placing my next puzzle piece. Let's see about this. Oh yeah, I should be able to continue things without too much issue, I don't think. I may have to raise just one tile though, with terraforming tools. But we'll see about that when it comes to it. And it looks like I won't have to after all. That's nice. Alright. So we got all that into place. Yeah, this railway really does come quite close to a lot of people's homes. And it'll probably be pretty noisy since I think it has fairly extensive passenger service going on the connection in the next tile over, which would mean a lot of frequent trains. But, you know what? Ooh, uh-oh. You know what? Looks like I made a mistake here. Yeah, I was about to say that the people can just deal with it. Yeah, looks like I am gonna need to claim an extra tile out of the water after all. It's all worth it though for reducing the number of curves as much as I can. And it looks like I had an extra tile to go all along, perhaps. So, yeah. Let's try to get it right this time. Alright, not the most efficient order to tab through those puzzle pieces, but hey, it'll work. Let's replace that sidewalk, and we are pretty much set for that extent of the rail. So now, let me think about how this bridge is going to work. Could I just keep it all straight? Where would it end up if I did that? You know, I am sort of tempted to just keep this thing going straight for a ways. Maybe, you know, I don't think I'll have it go straight the whole way, but probably along this island. Now let me get something a little less obtrusive looking than that girder design. Level rail, yeah, that looks relatively realistic. Definitely something I can go with. So let's do a sharp 45-degree curve. And I wonder if I can fit a couple of these in and still get my next bridge. Definitely no guarantees, it looks like. Ooh, maybe this will work. Yeah, that looks... I might be able to still get the bridge through. It doesn't look like it worked so well. So let me just flatten this area out a little bit, and we're going to try to fix up the slopes right here, because it looks like there's a place where I find them. And I'm just going to put both of these, at least as much as I can. Yep, that'll do. Let me just try to fix up the center area though a little bit. Get my soften tool. And yeah, that looks fine, I'd say. Still a little bit different from how it was, but good enough. So, let's get those curves up back on in there, shall we? Oof. Am I no longer able to do this? Oh, no, I'm just misreading how that works. Uh-oh. Is that not gonna work? Here, I thought the whole area was flat, but perhaps it's not. Whoops, and I don't want fractional angle stuff. Oh yeah, that'll work fine. So it looks like I'm pretty much set. Now let's get the normal level rail bridge again, so that it all matches. make sure that this is flat for the purpose of creating the best possible looking bridge. And, yep, level rail again. You know what? It might be quite the trick to actually get this to hook up the way I want it. I think I might have to send this railway through through a curve that looks a little something like this over here in order to get it to work perfectly. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a try. Let's use our fractional angle puzzle pieces. Yeah. So this is, those are both orthogonal. I want the diagonal. Yeah, there we go. You've got to place it from this side, I guess. Yeah. This looks okay. Whoops. All right, so I guess I should try to use that orthogonal curve. Let me see if that will, the long curve, let me see if it'll work okay from over here. Ooh, it looks like I have just enough space right there. I'm gonna have to do it again really quick just to make sure that everything is on the right level, of course. And yeah, it looks like that's all flat. I just want to get everything at the default terrain level for this city tower in order to get the smoothest possible bridges. That isn't really the smoothest possible. Yeah. Looks like the puzzle piece messed up the slope once again, because I forgot to get that tile the first time around. Well, I should have it on now at least. Okay, so let's get this across. And I think I should be able to use a fractional angle curve over here to no deleterious effect. And looks like I don't have quite enough room for that after all. I wonder if I have enough for the 45. Let me see. Oh, yeah, looks like just barely, not even a tile to spare. That's pretty cool. Excellent. Now I'm gonna just replace the trees alongside some of these areas where I had to get rid of them for the railway, and I don't really plan to do any more development in the area. So it's nice to just get it in a relatively finished state with the trees and all. These double 45-degree curves don't look all bad. They definitely would require a speed reduction though for the passing trains. But compared to the sharp turns in the neighboring cities being developed by other players, I would have to say that they're probably, you know, less of an obstacle than those, most certainly. Alright. Man, these people really do live pretty close to the railway here. Like I said before though, they'll just have to learn to deal. almost done with this portion of the task. And that about covers it. So, for the rest of this video, I figure what I might as well do is some more development in this tile. And, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and develop everything to the west of this road here, the south of this Av4, and north of this highway. Seems like a pretty fair thing to do. I'm just thinking whether I want an overpass somewhere around here. Tough question. I think I'm going to need to take a quick break and actually consult what the neighboring city tiles look like before I make any spot decisions planning my roads. Okay, so I had a little bit of a senior moment, or at least as much as anybody who's 22 can have one. And I forgot that just to the south, Cranston still has most of its road network undefined, so there's nothing I really have to worry about as far as lining up compared to there. And just to the west, Astoria, neighbor connections already exist for all of the roads that I actually want to connect, which is really just the two plus the highway, so there's nothing to worry about there. And I actually was planning on having a wider north-south arterial around this part of Cranston, so I might as well do that and go ahead and build the overpass I was talking about. So I probably want to have the overpass as close to the interchange as possible. And yeah, it looks like this tile will be good. Here, let me just check really quick how well it lines up. It looks like I should be able to get a nice intersection over here. If I just move this fractional angle curve a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Even though I did build the fractional angle curve only yesterday. Just how these things end up going a lot of the time. So I'll bring this on up over here. And that over like that. Actually, I'm not going to have the intersection quite yet, because it might prevent me from building the curve puzzle piece as close as I would like. So let me back tab over to it. And yeah, that looks perfect. Let's get that facing the right way and get the right amount of distance. Well, not quite right, unfortunately. It is pretty easy to miss that kind of thing when you're playing with the grid turned off. Yeah, that's gotta be right though. Now let me back tab over to the straight segment, or no, that would actually be forward. And, yep, got that all in place. Let me connect that on up. And, man, these are a tight 3 traffic lights right here. It'd kind of suck if you got to all 3 of them right as they turned red. But people are just going to have to deal with it, because there's not really much of any way that I could move things further apart without introducing a lot more curves into the mix. So, let me think about this really quick. Yeah, I think I do want to do my intersection this way. And I'll use the type A2 pieces around here. Alright, perfect, that looks right. Let's get a blank 2, and another one over here. A blank 1, yeah, it looks perfect. And get our T intersection in place, and that is now done. Excellent. So, for the overpass itself, oh, you know what? Here I thought I would be safe on this tile, but it looks like I was just one off. Well, in a way that's actually good news, because it will mean there will be more space between the intersections. So I'm cool with that, I guess. Better than just getting frustrated, at least. So let me think. We're going to want 2 tiles from the end of that until the intersection, then the intersection itself is 2 tiles, so this should go here. Now let's get the straight segment first this time. Oops. And curve it back on over, and that's that. Now let's drag this on over 50 feet to the west. And rebuild some of those tulips. Should only take but a moment. Whoops. Alright, get those into place. Type A2 and the transition. Perfect. And the T intersection piece, and we got it. Alright. Yeah, I like the look of this a lot better. It's a little bit more symmetrical. And it means that there are 4 well, actually, this is 5 tiles, huh? But it's 5 tiles between each intersection, so that's good. 5 tiles means 250 feet. So that's doable, I guess. Unless it turns out, yep. Gonna need yet another tile. Unless I just want to cut down the exit lane here a little bit. And you know what? I think I can do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so let's get the C transition. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that looks like the right tile this time. So I am going to need to replace a couple cosmetic pieces, unfortunately. But the C-type cosmetic pieces are relatively easy to scroll to, right? Yeah, it looks like I was using this there. So I'll put one of these here, and then go back to the block markings. No, I'm doing something wrong here. There we go. Alright, got that. And let's reconnect this. Perfect. Now, since this highway already looks kind of nice, I'm pretty tempted to, instead of doing a flex height transition, to do an on-slope type thing. So it is a slightly more work to get that working, but I think that in this case it'll be definitely worth it. So let me get one of these in place on both sides. And how does that slope look? Looks good. Oh no, oh no. That did not work as well on that side. Oh hell, it doesn't need to be perfect. It looks pretty close. Yeah. So I can keep that. Now let's look for the flex overpass stuff. This goes here, right? Nope, not there. So, will it work all right? Yeah, it looks like almost no problems. Of course, not quite exactly no problems. Yep, looks like I might be able to fix things pretty easily with a nice starter though. Maybe right there. Nope. Looks like I'll have to be rebuilding the overpass. I wonder if I could just do the avenue part first. And I did use the wrong type of starter to begin with. So yeah, this type works, right? Looks like I'm gonna need another starter after all. Just to have one on both sides. I really am glad that they give us the 7C starter piece though, instead of forcing us to plop two individually or something like that. So let's see how this goes through. Alright, seems to all be working quite smoothly now, and I didn't even need to reduce anything, except for the turnout lane by just about 50 feet. Which, frankly, I can live with. So, and I think I'll keep this as a 4-lane median avenue most of the way. But I'm gonna transition to TLA 5 at some point here. And I'm just kind of doing that because I can, not because I have any particular reason as of yet, although having the different type of road will eventually influence what type of development goes along it. So let me get that into place. Get the starter piece there. And bam. Now I'm going to need the neighbor connectors. Wherever those went to. Oh, right there. TLA 5, it's the first one, that's nice. So, I'm going to want some tulips here, of course. Might as well do this side first. Yep, that looks right. Got our type A2 right there. And the, not the dashed blank piece, but the normal one. Wait a minute, I don't want RHW. So, let's get the avenue transition next. Type A1 and type A blank 1. Now for the intersection piece. Looks like I have to rotate, and we got it. Alright, perfect. Actually, I kind of wonder if this road shouldn't go all the way on through to connect over to this area. Who knows? I may change that eventually. Okay, so now to actually do what I said just a bit ago that I would do in this video, I'm gonna want to have I'm probably gonna want to have one more road too, but before I do, I want to make a nice parallel street to this avenue for development to front against. Yeah, something like that. Now for the road. In particular, I want it to kind of be a continuation for one of these. Alright, this is maybe going to be a little bit tricky. But to be frank, I could probably stand to change the way these hook up altogether. Yeah, I don't necessarily need well, let me just see how this works. Okay, yeah, that works fine. So then, the reason that I had the strange looking intersection in the first place is, of course, because I can't exactly create a perfect intersection here. So yeah, hold up, I actually do want to have it different this time. Or I could easily build something like that. And then, looks like the slope's not quite right to have that right up against. Yeah, this kind of curve I think should work fine for here. It would have to be either that or you know what? Nah, I'm gonna leave it like this. So over here, what I think I could stand to do is transition this to FAR6 just to gain myself a little bit of space between these two tightly spaced roads here. And you know, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I could always try maybe having the FAR 6 start from up here. Or, I don't know, it is FAR 6, right? As opposed to FAR 3? I forget which. Yeah, that gains me a little bit of space between the two roads, but I don't know. So I can't have any intersections over here, it looks like. Unless I was to change things a little bit. And you know what? I don't think that change is a bad idea at all right there. Then I could have another intersection, mostly for people who are going the other way. Probably not there though. Yeah, this road would just go ahead to end at the street there. over here, I feel that I could stand to make the diagonal just a little bit longer. Let me see how that makes that look. I think it could use one more tile. Yeah, that looks right. Then I could have another intersection over here. I don't think I need that actually. Let's get all this looking right. Yeah, I think this system of roads should work fine. Now over here, oof. You know what? I really, really want to use tulips right here. So I'm gonna try just moving these roads a littlest bit closer to each other. Even though I know I was expressly trying to avoid having them this close a little bit ago. Yeah, I think this is how it's gonna be. So let's try to flatten things a bit, just to make them look a little bit better. Okay. Basic tulips. I'm gonna want my T-end right there. Another T-end over here. And type A transition right there. Let's go get the TLA3 transition right there. And type A1 over on this side. Type A blank. Type A2. And the T intersection piece. Okay, got it. So that'll work. Okay, so let's actually get some development done now. I'm going to want another street that continues about like this, just straight against the edge of the tile. And it's going to be parallel to another street in equal distance away from the edge of the tile over in, what's it called, Astoria. Maybe I can have a little double curve, something like that, just to fill in the space there. Now this road is going to transition to an unmarked street as it continues through the neighborhood. And, yeah, that street's going to end in a cul-de-sac over there. Maybe with a diagonal right here, so that people can get over there a little bit more easily. And I'm going to make that a full intersection, even though it could cause some commute delays with people on the main road waiting in order to execute a left turn. But I think they'll manage. Maybe a nice half intersection over here, though, would improve things a little bit, and at the very least discourage people from making a left turn over there, because instead they could make a left turn over here where they have a nice devoted lane and signal for it, and then just make a right there without having to wait for anything. In fact, you know what? I might as well just have the diagonal continue on the whole way through. playground or mini park in that triangular space that it created. And I think this will be fine. So this is convenient. It looks like this is exactly 9 tiles. It means I can create a nice central street, which will go right through there, and with that in place, everybody, there'll be room, and it's a pretty efficient use of the space, let's just say. Over here, I'm awfully tempted to just have the street continue a bit, and have some industrial zoning along the waterfront. So I'll go ahead and do that. Put some industrial zones around here. Nice big 3x4 around there. Another 3x4, 3x3. And how about 4x4? Make that 2. Make that 3. Hopefully they'll turn into something cool that matches up nicely. And how about a 5x5 right in the center there? Nah. I want a parking lot somewhere around here. So I'll get that in place first. I have no idea how long I've been recording this. Hopefully it won't end up being too long. Yeah. 4x4 parking lot should be nice over here. Yeah, it looks good. Then let's get some more industrial zones sort of set up right there. Maybe a little commercial zone, because it should look pretty in place at this big intersection here. Ooh, speaking of intersections, it might make things a little bit easier if I start placing a few bus stops now, as opposed to waiting for later. So it's usually a pretty good idea to put them at right at the end of an intersection, so that the bus stopping delays as few things as possible. There. Let's see how well a 3x4 will work here. Leaves a bit of extra space for trees too. And yeah, that looks good. That mix of stops right there. And something similar should be good right there. Let's try to get the type without fences though. 1 for 2, that's not too bad. And we got them both. Okay. More bus stops. Could use one right there and one right there. And probably gonna have a couple more along this road before I'm done for today, but I'll save that for in a minute. For now, I'm just gonna focus on getting some of these zones in, because that's, you know, the main thing I'm working on today. Okay. So, yeah, I think that this will work pretty well. So I was going to make this space a mini park, right? It's a lot smaller than I thought it was a minute ago. but I can still do something with it, I guess. Yeah, that should be plenty of park for this whole corner of the map. I'll probably want another mini park somewhere around here, but I'll worry about that in a minute. For now, I just want to focus on finishing up this part. Cool. Now I just have to decide what's going to go along these main boulevards. And I may as well save that for a minute later after I figure out what I'm going to want in the remaining empty spaces. So I do want to have plenty of industrial jobs in this area, and frankly, this corner over here, kinda between these two arterial roads and the highway westbound ramp, seems like a pretty optimal little spot for some industrial zoning. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that I'm gonna be doing that. Maybe start out with a nice parking lot right there. And here. Let's get a few zones in place. Actually, you know what? This would be right by a big interchange. This would be a pretty decent spot, I think, to rebuild the main power plant, because that's going to need to go somewhere once I get to work on the downtown area. And right here seems like as good a spot as any other I can think about. And wow, even just the one parking lot already has precluded placing that anywhere around here, it looks like. Yeah, it's a 7x7 lot, looks like right there. Or nope, 7x8. Even bigger. Okay, I can deal. No, I can't deal with that, actually. You know what? I'm just gonna place this right there. And yeah, that's not gonna allow me to use the 6x6 parking lot anymore, unfortunately. But I can have a 6x3 right here. And probably another smaller one over on this side of the lot. And yeah, 4x4 won't fit. But I do have 4x3, right? No, that won't. Yeah, that'll work perfectly, actually. So I'll place that over there. And have a small industrial zone right there. Actually, over here I want to have a zone against the main road. And then I can move the parking lot down south a few tiles. Maybe have a side road right here. Have a nice 4x2 lot. Maybe a 4x3, a 2x2. A few 1x1s hopefully. Probably a 1x2 though. Another 4x3. So I'm getting a nice diversity of sizes in here. Let's see about having a 3x3 parking lot right there though. And yeah, this looks like a pretty good mix, wouldn't you say? So before I scum this area up with any more TE lots, let me take care of the tulip situation really quick. And I can't really use my T-ends on the road here, which is not the end of the world. is I still have plenty of space for a full-size turning lane itself. Alright. So, yeah, I want the type A, not type B. And type A1, not type A2. Okay, Avenue Road type A1 cross. That's exactly what I needed. And over here I don't want those traffic lights. Let me rezone this. Not rezone, but rebuild. Over here, it seems like the symmetrical thing to do. If I just continue the street 4 tiles away from the avenue for a little bit. So I'll go ahead and do that, because symmetry is good design. And then over here, probably be a good idea to have a couple half intersections, wouldn't it? Maybe one right there, and another one up over here. Yeah, that looks like a good idea. It'll let people bypass a traffic light or two, hopefully. So, what am I gonna do with this northern area? More industrial? I don't really think so. I think there will be a bit more industrial stuff, but the bulk of this area here is going to be residential, so I'll get started on that. And yeah, I'm almost done for this video, which is good, because I'm worried it might be too long. So let me create some nice residential blocks. That might be the only cross street I need, honestly. It'd actually be smarter to have one there, if anything. Yeah, that S-curve looks pretty decent around here. Let me just switch it up a little bit, though. Huh. For some reason, I thought it was possible to have S-curves meet roads. I guess it's only in the other direction? Let me check that really quick. Yeah, that works fine. Unfortunately, though, it's not really the right direction for here. Yeah. I think I'll just do without a further cross street, and it will be just fine. Yeah, I'll just encourage people to live on the main roads, I guess. Yeah, this seems like it should work pretty well. Leaves a few tiles gap, but well, it's just space for trees, right? So what next? I was kind of thinking about having a park here, but honestly, right here in this square area might make more sense. So I'm just gonna have houses across the street from industrial buildings. I guess why not, right? Before I do that, though, let me just flesh out the bus stop network a little bit more. And maybe one right there, one right there, one on up there. And then I can easily fit another one right there. But I want the version without the fence. Yeah, that's perfect. Another bus stop over there, I think, would do everyone well, even though it does overlap the highway shoulder a bit. And one there. And I think that's enough for now. Yeah, that's plenty for the moment. So now, let's get these last zones on in place. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. Yeah, that is fine. Is that facing the right way? I hope so. Yeah, look. I really can't tell. Yeah, no, it looks right. So we are almost done. And you know what? I'm gonna have a little bit more park space right there too. So I will go ahead and get ready for that. I'm gonna we're on the subject of necessary things to do. And let's get our parks on in place. No athletic fields this time around. And I'm a little bit split, to be honest. But today I think I really do want to just go for simplicity. Or I mean not go for simplicity, try to do something original with my parks. Since this isn't a city tile that I'm just trying to get finished as fast as possible. So I think that looks decent for right there. Now over here though, I think I really am going to just go the simple route here. This one and do pure grass parks. But for over here, I think I'm going to have double flower gardens facing each other. Looks like I have a vast giving me a pop-up. Let me close that if I can. Ah, perfect. Yeah, over here I'm going to definitely want some more zones. And along this boulevard, we could definitely use a couple new commercial zones. Let me get an extra little parking lot in there too. A 3x2. And yep, those are all in place. So I want to fix up that bus stop. Alright, perfect. Got the right one the first time. Now I can go ahead and do those grass parks. One right there. Looks like I can only fit one 2x2. And then the rest will just be 1x1s. And over here, what would look better than that is honestly probably the 2x1 playground. Yeah, that's a decent fit. Perfect for that little spot. Alright, so I've only got a couple tiny gaps left to fill before I'm done with this video. Let me see how I'm gonna want to handle them. How about I'll just have new industrial zones, because you can never have enough of those pretty much. Yeah, just have this be loose stuff, I guess. Except for that. Maybe I can get a 3x1. Is that even possible with industrial zones? Oh, I hope so. Guess I'll be finding out in a minute. Alright, so let's replace some of these trees in areas that could use them. Okay. Yeah, it looks good over here by the parking lot. And looks like I'll probably have to re-click that avenue. Maybe not though, I can't really see that overlap too much. Always do hate it when 3D models clip though. Looks like I can't even do that without replopping the puzzle piece, so never mind. Can also try to get it nice and thick on this side, because I'm going to want to be doing that eventually in any case. And it doesn't clip as much on that side, so that's good. Now just to replace some of these trees over by the highway. Yep, and make sure the sidewalk goes through as much as it can. Yeah, that's enough trees for right there. And something about my playstyle, I always end up with so many triangular spaces to fill. Maybe I should start using some more of those SFBT fillers. They usually seem to look pretty cool. Of course, I don't think we have them installed for this region, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Alright, so I'm just going to replace a few more of these trees on the inside of the interchange, because it looks like I never really focused too much on that, or at least not on thickening them up as much as I can. And over here too. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the area I was supposed to do in this video is pretty much done. So I'm just gonna call it quits and let the simulation run. And of course the industrial zones come on in first. It looks like, what's this right here? Yeah, it looks like mostly manufacturing today, a little bit of dirty. Hopefully the dirty industry will disappear soon enough though. And let me see if my wealth levels are set up right. Yeah, the taxes are good. And yeah, build those styles at once, that's what I want. Yeah, it looks like dirty and high tech growing next to each other. But as usual, the high tech tends to win out in the long run. That's good, I guess. At least it doesn't create visible clouds of pollution usually. And yeah, it looks like that's not. Can't say I'm surprised. Ugh. Really? Man, I feel like the whole fire, water, all that stuff is kind of a waste of time in this game, but sometimes you just gotta deal with it. Might as well put the station right there. And that should probably put it out on its own. Actually, you know what? I'll just let it do its thing. No, it's already out anyway. So much for sending the truck. Alright. So it looks like we still have quite a fair number of zones to come in. Well, at least there's plenty of demand. It'll just take a minute, I guess. Ooh, these commercial buildings are kind of ugly, frankly. Especially when they're repeated like that. Yeah, they don't belong in a street corner at all. Those look pretty bad too. That one will keep. In fact, yeah, not too bad. The query's missing, or else I would have made it historical right there. This one I can make historical though. Yeah, it looks like I still have to install those SimGoober queries. I've been putting that off for quite a while. Hopefully the rest of my region mates aren't too pissed at me for it. So over here, it looks like I have space for a couple mirror mode trees. Maybe broadleaves? Yeah, hopefully that shouldn't look too bad. Maybe some more of them over here. Don't want to put them too close together because I don't know how big they'll grow. A couple more there. Yeah, just get a few of these trees all over the place, why not? Okay, so let me go out somewhere where I can safely zoom out. And let's take another look at the quarter of the city that I've zoned in today. Hey, I'd say that looks pretty good, wouldn't you? Let's see what the traffic looks like. Seems to be no problems whatsoever, just like how I like to see it. Yep, there definitely is volume using it though, so that's good. Yeah, okay, I would call today's video a rousing success. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it short now, and hopefully the next Cabalhacem Bay video will be up very shortly after this.